r/Askreddit.
You die. Everything goes black. Then you hear a voice. So, you're back. What did you learn this time? Am I being detained? You have been detained. Await your sentence at the end of time. Do I take a number, or will someone call my name? Yes. Great. I learned that the earth is a machine that creates suffering, and the only thing good in it is we who are alive. To have a system that, from the very foundation, forces being to kill one another to merely survive. It's monstrous. This is not acceptable. This is not worth anything we might learn from it, any more than beating a child to teach him a lesson. Cool. So, like 1 star. Feeling ya, bro. Let's see what's in the next box. I've been dead 3 times. Don't remember any voices, any bright lights, no pearly gates, nothing. I just woke up panic and barfing into an intubation tube. It's only monstrous with the presumption that death is monstrous. I think death and suffering, which is essentially a byproduct of the phenomenon of death, is necessary for there to be good. Killing merely to survive seems like an incomplete conclusion, because why do we want to survive if it isn't also inherently good? You can't have good without bad. I wasn't driving. I was traveling. Edit. Wow, my first award. I very much appreciated whoever that was. Smiley face. Glory to our stocks god. Bold of you to assume that I'll learn from my mistakes. Bold of you to assume that I'll learn it all. Bold of you to assume. Bold. Capital B. Capital O. Capital L. Capital D. Should have done the tutorial. What if this is the tutorial? Kids run around screaming because it's the equivalent of button smashing to see how the controls work. And on difficult mode, no less. This is an EA simulation though. The tutorial is an app purchase. Nah, I'm pretty sure Bethesda designed my life for sure. A lot of promise, but it's still a hot mess. Also, I was fed a lot of sweet little lies.
Don't have sex in your garage with the car on!
Gasping Mike and the boys. Yet I read that as Gaping Mike, so thanks for that. Gaping Mike from the boys. That I don't want to go back there again. Well, if this is your last time, you won't, because the egg eventually ends. r/egg universe. Is this a reference to the creepypasta? Love it. No, it's actually a reference to this story. Edit. This comment and audio version with imagery. Run is a perfectly balanced game with no exploits. Sit down with your warm cup of Yorkshire tea.
I should have invested in Bitcoin when it was $10 a piece. Fun fact, investing at Apple at the same price would have, after all the splits, made you substantially richer. When did Apple get big? I think I was like 7 when Bitcoin started up. Depends what you mean by big. They've been big longer than you've been alive. But they hit a new level with the iPod, and later the iPhone. They were Macintosh at first, correct? I mean, after that, they became Apple. Edit. And by big, I mean when it became a household name. No, they were always Apple. The Apple II and the IE came out before the Macintosh, which was just a product name, not the name of the company. Don't measure the worth by the depth of the hardship. This may be one of the most insightful statements I have ever read. Got me really deep. Had some good depth to it. I wish I was smart enough to truly comprehend this. Yet I don't get it either. Can someone please explain? I mean, is it just because something is difficult doesn't mean it is worth doing? I mean, having lived a bit, I can apply this to some circumstances, but not all. Some of the things I have achieved that I love were a result of relative extreme hardship. I can apply this to some circumstances, but not all. That's exactly what it's saying. It isn't saying that high value means high or low hardship. It's saying that there isn't a hard correlation. I'm locked inside, so here we go. Don't measure the worth by the depth of the hardship. I could see the sentence itself being confusing. What's the subject? Whose worth are we measuring? I'm taking the subject as being the hardship. Also, the word depth might be throwing non-English speakers off in this context. Don't measure the worth of the hardship by the difficulty of the hardship. A hardship can be anything which poses a conflict. Character versus character, character versus environment, character versus self. The quote states that the attributes of value and difficulty of a hardship did not correlate and should be measured independently. Depth of hardship is a weird turn of phrase. The word depth evokes something more than the word difficulty for me, namely the idea of layers or levels. It gives the impression of a series or continuation of hardships as opposed to a bunch of finite ones. I actually like this as it includes conflicts or hardships which follow people over periods of time. Don't value a hardship or experience by how difficult it was or how much it took you to overcome it, or just because something is difficult doesn't mean it's worth doing. I'm pretty meh about the quote. Hopefully it speaks to someone more than it did me. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk / overanalysis of an awkwardly worded sentence. Too long didn't read? Something is not made more valuable by how difficult it is. I would demand a formal apology. Sorry for the inconvenience. Now do it in flaming letters 10 stories tall. The boss on level 2020 is too hard. Please lower the difficulty. It's so unbalanced. I mean, they need to at least nerf the infection rate. You really think this is the boss? Wait till September. Bat soup no good for you. Bats are not cool. I mean, they are. They're just also one of nature's most effective biological weapons platforms. Window cleaner does not taste like Kool-Aid. Orange glow does not taste like oranges. The coronavirus challenge is a dumbass idea. It's better than Tide Pods. Tide Pods only affected them. If they get sick, they can infect others and use up precious hospital Who the put me through that shit? I should have bought a squirrel. I should have bought a squirrel. You can buy those? Rate race reference. Suicide sucks. Just don't do it. Life sucks, but death sucks even more. So fake your own death and live a new life of fraud. The best of both worlds. Death isn't better or worse than anything. It's just nothing. It's shit for everyone else though. They have to deal with losing you. Nothing. Let's do it again. Me after every LSD trip ever. I don't know, man. I've had some wild psychedelic experiences that terrified me. Ripped open the veil and exposed the bugs that run the system. LSD is pretty straightforward. But when you throw piles of other powders and mind-altering substances up your nose and eat all the mushrooms in sight because your god/goddess told you it would bring you closer to its arm, don't believe them. They're lying to you. They're not really a goddess, and you should probably take the benzos and chill out instead. I wish someone would told me this before I did all that DMT. Stay stocked on toilet paper, but not too stocked. This game is multiplayer, remember, but some people are playing co-op, and some are playing competitive. Always wash your hands. Me. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Voice. Seriously? Me. Oh yeah, and don't eat bats. Voice. What the hell did they do to you?
The frog is pleased. Thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe for more.